we have the master limiter. All right, now I would like to say that the master limiter is going to give you that even additional extra oomph, and plus it's going to keep it from clipping altogether. Now, when using the master limiter in addition to the compressor will definitely assure that. And that's what we want. We want that volume, but we do not want it distorted. So here we go. Let's go ahead and hit the effects back on. This is the mastered version without the limiter. As you can see, it went into the red. That's +0, okay, 0.6. So let's go ahead now and click on this again and watch what happens when I add the master limiter, and let's see what it looks like. You see, it brought more volume, but at the same time, it's -0.1. It brought it down 0.7 of a decibel, all right? And it brought it down below 0 and eliminated the clipping. All right, so we're going to render this down into a stereo MP3 file. We want to render all of this. Okay, we want the master mix. All right, so let's just double check this. Everything seems to be in order. Alrighty, let's do this. Render one file. Make sure it's in stereo. Double check that, I would suggest. Here we go. It is rendering. It says it's rendering in -0.2. No clipping. Therefore, no distortion. Okay? We'll let that render. Then we will test it out. As I mentioned, in my software of choice for my testing things and my audio cleaning Sound Lab, the software known as Audacity, that has the audacity to claim it can do a great job, and it can. All right, it is great for cleaning up audio, for removing clipping, noise reduction, etc. Audacity has a number of great options, but I think mainly that I really like it because I can set a new peak amplitude for it and thus reduce any unnecessary volume that's over 0 and then eliminate the clipping from it. Okay, folks, we want to check this out, and I'm going to go ahead and actually close my DAW as well. We can go ahead and save that, I do believe. MP3 stereo file right here. Okay, and here we go. It is opening. There is the file, and as I mentioned, it would be well advised to take the rendered stereo MP3 and look and test it for clipping nonetheless, even though we think it's right, as it looks on the DAW, you know, that it looks like when it's rendering. Everything indicated no clipping, right? Yet this is one of the main reasons why I like and that I use Audacity, is to be able to look at it and see therefore testing it for clipping just by viewing it. All right, because as I mentioned before, you go to view in Audacity and you click on show clipping, and that red in there is the clipping. I'll uncheck it. See? Now, show clipping. There it is. So now, let's go ahead and listen to this real quick. All right, now, what I see immediately is that it stops up here at 0. If this was going to clip in Audacity, it would go past 0 and you would actually see a red line up there. Let's go right here where there is a red line here on this. So even where there's red lines and it looks like a little clipping, still when it plays, it does not go into the clipping zone, so to speak, okay? Nevertheless, still make a new peak amplitude. If you want to say, I want this clean, I don't want any red lines in there, I don't want no clipping at all whatsoever, okay? Even though it does not show any clipping in the played version, all right, nonetheless, let's say we want to eliminate that. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is go ahead and click on this right here, and that whole stereo track highlights, okay, in gray. There you go. So now we want to hit effect. Now mind you, once we do all this, we have to actually re-render this besides in MP3 form again. However, this is where we can, like I mentioned in my other video, where we can tag this as well. We just got through doing the mastering. We're still in the post-mastering process, and that's what this is. And we want to go to effects, and I've already shown you this in the other video, but we're going to do this anyway because this is the full version basically, okay? So let's try minus, as a matter of fact, let's try minus 0. I'm going to say 1 and just see what happens. It's going to re-render it. There. See, it's simple as a minor adjustment. Minus 0.1 of a decibel took care of that. I would clean that up. That way I can absolutely say there is no clipping in that, period. All right? All right, so now that we have that, now we are going to have to re-render this. All right, it's got to be saved. And the only way that this can be saved is, first of all, once again, click on this, highlight it, then say export selected audio. Now, this is where, once again, in the post-mastering process, as a matter of fact, I'm going to change this, and it's going to say Audacity mastered, okay? I could say Audacity Postmaster, all right? So let's go and do that then. That'll be fine too, all right? Postmaster. And therefore, we are not making any confusion, all right? So, okay, but I'm going to go ahead and render this into a WAV file simply because Audacity seems to be giving me an objection to rendering this into an MP3 file. It never gives me an objection to rendering it into WAV, which is what I usually do anyway, but I've run into this problem before. I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, everything's set. Let's go ahead and see what it does. And this is what it's saying. Audacity is basically lacking a file. All right, so that's fine. To get a free copy of that, I can click here and download it. I've never bothered to do that though because I just usually do not render anything in MP3 in with using my Audacity, okay? I render anything that's a WAV file, let's say, into an MP3 version using my other software, and I always render anything from Audacity into waveform to begin with. All right, so that's why I'm not rendering it into an MP3 right now. All right, and I would do so to save time on this video, but as you can see, it's giving me an objection, and I think that I pretty much just explained as to why I now have to render it into a WAV file. And voila, looks like everything's fine. We want to save it to the desktop. Yes, we're saving it. Okay, so this is where the tagging information comes up. I already had this saved and ready, okay, for this. Yes, there it is. And now we hit OK, and it's going to render. And let's go ahead and check it out. And now let's bring it up in Audacity again and show you, because you've seen the last rendition. There we go. Check it out. Well, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so it looks like we are good to go. And now just let me close Audacity here. And here we are. Okay, it looks like we do have our final version, our mixed, our mastered, our post-mastered, our completely post-mastered rendered MP3 stereo file, now ready to publish, to burn out on the CD, to put up online, to wherever your social media sites are at. Okay, people, so let's continue to create our music, record, mix, master, post-master, fully produce, publish, and distribute our music to the world. Now that's the direct route right there. Simple as going ahead and leaving your mixed tracks up there on your DAW, and then adding your master effects rack on your master track and simply rendering it as I just showed you. Okay, now with that said, I'm going to do this segue into the remaining part of this video so that I may end it accordingly. Thanks for viewing this, and here we go. And then also, I want to show you, okay, one more thing about the Tascam DP24. And in the Tascam DP24, about, I have those same tracks that you just seen in my Tascam DP24 multi-track recorder, mixer, okay, and masters. And so anyway, I want to show you how the mix down is done in that. I want to show you how in the mix down, how simple and easy it is to mix this as a result. And then also that once it's mixed down, and now putting it through the mastering phase, and then once in there, and then to master it, okay, down, so to speak, master it, okay, then it masters, and then also that this burns off and burns out onto a CD. It has a CD burner in it, all right? That's the other reason why I bought it. Number one, because it's a recorder with all these tracks, and number two, because it burns out on CD, and that is why I bought it. And that CD burner with the multi-tracks is what sold me on purchasing a Tascam DP24. So anyway, it burns out on CD. So what do you got now? Right? I've got a master CD, and now I can put on CD duplicating towers, and yes, they can be obtained, and you know, the bigger ones you get, the more they cost, but they can be obtained. And say if you're going to be mass producing your own CDs and distributing like that, you can do that. All right? And you'll have your master CD to do it. Okay, folks. Well, this is Top Cat Jimmy, and so I will have to add that on this next video. All right. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. That next video will be the final video of this series. All right. So thank you for tuning in to my channel. Look for the final video in this series. I appreciate you viewing, and I say God bless you, sayonara, adios, and we'll see you again the next time.